You know what? I think the thing that's the best about what's happened to me so far is that I've come to realize that I'm creating a new family. We've got the dog, Batty Buddy. Hey, buddy. Yes, you are. You're my doggy boy. My big old doggy poo. Then we have a pet. I've got a big brother named Alistair, squatting by the fire. There's the love of my life and my girlfriend, Liliana. And then there's Uncle Stan. Good old sour, dour, with a dry, wry sense of humor, Uncle Stan. And, of course, his partner, with her equally dour, wry, and sour sense of humor, sour and dry sense of humor, is Auntie Shale. Uncle Stan, Auntie Shale. I wonder what their kids would look like. And then there's Cousin Morrigan, the Duster Witch, the mage from Dust Town. Yeah, I've got a family that I'm making. And of course, there's also Papa Duncan, my real father, the one that I know compared to the one I never did. Papa Duncan, the guy who gave his life for what he believed in, saved my life, and then died, passed away. And my brother Alistair took it a lot harder than I did, because he knew Papa Duncan a lot longer than I did. But it still bothers me and makes me sad. It makes me sad when big brother Alistair feels sad. But I'll do my best to make Papa Duncan proud.
If there's anything I can do for you, please tell me. I'm sure you'll be pleased with the goods
Papa
my
Duncan.
boy and I have collected, and with your discount.
So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to start switching over to Shale.
It shall be.
Hey, Shale.
Yes.
Indeed. Indeed.
Got some stuff to do in Denerim. And after that, I'm going to go to the Brazilian Forest. I've gone about as far as I'm going to go. And you're in the Sacred Ashes for a while. I want to get to Redcliffe and also the Mages first before I advance that anymore. I did all the scouting and skirmishing I could. Now it's time to change tack. Okay, buddy. I bet she's the one who can help me deal with the forgotten verses.
Nice to see you again.
Hello, Justinia. I found these scrolls in a Tevinter ruin.
Really? Oh, pardon my incredulity.
No offense.
I would like to examine them in any event.
Certainly. Be careful with them. They seem ancient.
Let me see. The scrolls are old, no question, and the script. It's written in cipher. Early believers used them to keep their writings safe from the Tevinter Magus. These could be authentic. Please, let me examine it.
Normally I would say yes and give them right off the bat, but here's the thing. I need money for the war effort. So I've got to be kind of a jerk about this. I'm sorry, I really like you, but I need some sort of collateral.
If you are a charlatan, may the Maker have mercy upon you.
I'm not.
There is avarice in your eyes. But I believe you. Inner ruins, you say? I can give you 5 sovereigns. If these prove to be genuine, we can discuss more substantial payment afterwards.
Certainly. Here you go.
I need parchment, quill, and ink. was the trick to the cipher again? Ah. I examined your scrolls. I know a few of the early Chantry ciphers, but I'm not fully familiar with this one.
Okay.
The bits I have made out. This may be an account of Maferath's final days, and perhaps more.
Excellent. Maferath as an Andraste's husband?
I know. It's remarkable. The same Maferath who betrayed our prophet and saw her burn alive in Minrath Rus. If we could get a real translation, well, it could be the find of our lifetime.
Could I get a copy of the translation? That would be awesome.
When I finish decoding it, absolutely. But it will not be easy. It could take months. The ciphers were designed to be difficult for the Magisters to decrypt. Who knows what secrets we can uncover, what truths we can find. Here is all of the allowance I have for acquisitions. Take it and go. 1,000 blessings.
It's good to see you smile, Sister Justine. Makes me so happy. Makes me very pleased. And I really wish I didn't have to add for collateral, because I wish I could do it just on the scholarly benefits and the nobility of knowledge, of learning about knowledge. But I've got this war effort and I need the money. I mean, I'm fighting against the Darkspawn under an archdemon, which is like this dragon, high dragon from hell. Literally. And I also have to worry about Terran Loki, a master general with one of the most powerful nobles who's leading the city and is one of them and has a massive army behind him. Sorry, Sister Justinia, but I need all the help I can get. But now I remember something. That's right. What I didn't check out. That's right. Drake scale armor. Yep. Master Wade, Dunham's Market, can make amazing Drake scale armor if you give him enough Drake scales. He seems positively eager to do so. Excellent. Well, we're going to take care of this as well now, too. Excuse me, kid. Didn't mean to bump into you.
Welcome back. You looking for fine armor?
I'm here about Drake scales.
Of course.
She's back! She's back! Have you reconsidered? I can make such fine armor with your scales.
Certainly. I'll pay 10 sovereigns extra. Make it good and quickly. First off, how much will it cost?
Cost? I should be paying you,
No,
friend.
no. You're a laborer. You get paid the amount.
Pay him?
No.
No, Wade, no. We'll charge you.
Yes.
I'll hear nothing of that, Herren. This is my shop, and working on Drake scales will cost a bloody Orlesian penny.
Will it take long
It will
to
take
make?
however long it takes. Don't rush the masterpiece, my good lady.
Yes, that's right. It could take months, years even. You should just leave.
It won't take that long, Herren. Unless I did some inlays. Oh, I know.
Yes, it wouldn't be complete without the inlays. Of course, the customer would have to agree.
Are you sure you can make quality armor with this?
I'd stake my life on it, friend.
Where is your humility when we really need it?
I'll pay 10 sovereigns extra. Make it good and quickly.
Excellent. You won't regret it. Think of the possibilities, Herren. Think of it.
I'm trying to stop.
Master Wade is crafting your Drake armor free of charge. If he takes some time. Oh, I didn't want that. I don't believe in that. He's a laborer. He should get paid fully. I do not like this. I understand why Herren is now mad with me. That is not my intent.
You're here about your order?
I've barely even begun and you're pestering me.
Oh, get back to work. Come to see our fine goods before they sell out?
Yes. How are you getting by?
Oh, marvelously. Wade isn't doing any more
I'm
orders
sorry.
today, and I have the joy of dealing with customers who had orders that were supposed to be done today. Walk the streets carefully. If some people knew you were the one with the drake scales...
I'm sorry. That wasn't my intent. Let's see what you have for sale.
Certainly.
And it was not my idea not to pay for this. I believe that people should be paid for their labor in a fair manner, just manner. I'm sorry that he got... I should do stuff with those if I can. That he got exuberant. That he had enthusiasms. Inappropriate enthusiasm and self-destructive enthusiasms. Enthusiasms.
How many other forms can the Swamp Witch become?
Several.
Can it become a golem?
Seeking companionship, are you?
If it could become a golem, I simply wonder why it would not stay that way. It is a superior form.
No, I cannot become a golem. I can learn to become animals, and each form must be learned anew.
And how does it learn a form? Does it read about it somewhere?
It is not a talent one can read from books. You must copy a creature's soul.
I do not understand.
Nor should you. Rock is unchanging. Allow it to stay that way.
That's actually incredibly wise. Shale. Old, reliable. Stolid, sturdy, and dependable. But more to her than what you think. That doesn't make her simple or simplistic. She's complex, and like any other sentient being. So I think I know what I'm going to do now. So here's what we're going to do next.
Here I am.
Okay. Okay. Great.
Right ahead.
All right.
Hurry.
Yeah, knock them down. And then go. There we go.
It's quick.
Wait, where's the trap? Come on! I fucking told you to. Oh, they hit her with a trap. Okay. Yep, I'm what you want.
It is done. Fight.
Come on! What the fuck? Alright. See what the dog's doing. Betty Buddy is okay. Buddy, buddy. Okay. Well, we had to use a couple of healing potions. That's not good. Liliana got caught in a trap.
As you say.
Oh well. Okay. Let's see what we got for money. Alright. Okay. And yeah. These would be nice, but I want the armor first. So, flurry. Have to repost. Enemy, nearest visible. Usability. Flurry. Okay. Let's see what we can do here. Yeah, we'll go with that. Kalen's boots. Kalen's that one. And, you know... yeah, we took a little hit to health, but oh well. I have an idea on who I'm going to give that to anyway. I know how I'll get that dagger eventually. Okay, and everybody, half, more than half. Getting started, half, okay. I guess we'll see what this is like.
Stop right there, outsider. The Dalish have camped in this spot. I suggest you go elsewhere, and quickly.
Actually, I've been looking for the Dalish.
I find that hard to believe. What business could we Dalish possibly have with a group like yours?
I'm a Grey Warden, and I wish to speak with your leader.
A Grey Warden? How do I know you're telling the truth?
You will have to take my word on it.
I suppose that a lie wouldn't gain you much benefit. I shall bring you to the Keeper. In the camp, I suggest you keep your hands to yourself, and remember that our heirs are still trained on you. Follow me.
I see we have guests.
Lovely. It's a whole colony.
And a hound amongst them. As if we haven't had enough problems with such creatures. Who are these strangers, Nithra? I have precious little patience and less time to spend on outsiders today.
This one claims to be a Grey Warden and wishes to speak with the clan. I thought it best to leave the decision to you.
That was wise of you. Masirinus, Mithra, you may return to your post.
Manuvinen, Keeper.
Now, allow me to introduce myself. I am Zacharian, the keeper of this clan, its guide and preserver of our ancient lore. And you are?
Don't be mean to my baddie buddy. He's a good and noble creature, and he would protect anyone, including you. Don't misjudge him. My name is Natia. A pleasure to meet you. The important thing is to build alliances for now, even though I do not appreciate what you have said about my dog.
If you came to bring news of the Blight in the south, it is not needed. I had already sensed its corruption.
Aren't you
I would
special?
have taken the clan north by now, had we the ability to move. Sadly, as you can see, we do not. I imagine you are here regarding the treaty we signed centuries ago. Unfortunately, we may not be able to live up to the promise we made. This will require some explanation. Please, follow me. The clan came to the Brazilian forest 1 month ago, as is our custom when we enter this part of Ferelden. We are always wary of the dangers in the forest, but we did not expect the werewolves would be lying in wait for us. They ambushed us. And though we drove the beasts back, much damage was done. Many of our warriors lie dying as we speak, even with all our
Poor
magic
guy.
and healing skill. We will eventually be forced to slay our brethren. to
Oh,
prevent them from
that's
becoming
terrible.
beasts. The Blight's evil must be stopped. But we are in no position to uphold our obligations. I am truly sorry.
Well, I appreciate you being genuine, and I think you are genuine in this case. But werewolves? Oh boy. Dane revisited. Is there no way to help your men? I don't want you to have to kill your buddies.
The affliction is a curse that runs rampant in their blood, bringing great agony and then ultimately either death or a transformation into something monstrous. The only thing that could help them must come from the source of the curse itself. And that would be no trivial task to retrieve.
I am good at non-trivial tasks.
Within the Brazilian forest dwells a great wolf. We call him Witherfang. It was within him that the curse originated, and through his blood that it has been spread. If he is killed and his heart brought to me, perhaps I could destroy the curse. But this task has proven too dangerous for us. I sent some hunters into the forest a week ago, but they have not returned. I cannot risk any more of my clan.
We could check for them. You said you could perhaps destroy the curse?
There is no guarantee that this will work, as I suspect. But it's the only hope we have left.
Have you considered seeking outside help?
From whom? The Children of the Stone?
Gee, thanks.
The Shemlin? Do you truly think they have time to spare for us?
I'll find this Witherfang for you.
I must warn you that more than werewolves lurk in the Brazilian forest. It has a history full of carnage and murder, you see. Where there is so much death, the veil separating the spirit realm from our own becomes thin, allowing spirits to possess things, living or dead. But if you can indeed help, then I wish you luck.
I have some questions for you.
Make them quick, if you please. I have much to do here. My apprentice Lanaya or Sayrel, the clan's storyteller, could provide you with answers just as easily.
Tell me more about this curse the hunters suffer from.
There is not much to say. It stemmed originally from Witherfang, but now any werewolf may infect someone with it.
So did all werewolves everywhere stem from Witherfang? Even if Dane is a story, I don't think this is true. However, I'm going to ask anyway to get your opinion and gauge you.
No. The ones from this forest, however, do.
Okay. How do you know if you have been infected by the curse?
You will know within a matter of days. You will begin to sweat and vomit, and most tellingly, your temper will become wild and uncontrollable. If that happens to you, you should seek out Witherfang even more swiftly. Your mission at that point will be rather personal.
How did this curse start?
That is a long tale I do not have time to tell. Ask Sayrel about it if you wish.
Okay. Although knowing the origins would help me solve it. So if a werewolf bites me, then I will become infected?
It is possible, but not guaranteed.
Oh, okay.
The only way to protect against the curse is not to be bitten.
I want to ask about something else.
Go on, then.
How do I find Witherfang? Do you have any advice?
Watch for the white wolves. They are his eyes and ears in the forest.
Tell me more about this curse the hunters suffer from.
There is not much to say. It stemmed originally from Witherfang, but now any werewolf may infect someone with it.
I want to ask about something else.
Go on, then.
I should go.
I must return to caring for my people. Creator's speed on your way.
So here's the situation. I have people who are good at diplomacy and I have people who are not. Morrigan is not good with diplomacy. Morrigan thinks in terms of strength and is very elemental in her approach to things.
Blast and damnation.
For now,
Blood and
Pigeon crap.
damnation. Indeed.
a human might be antagonistic.
Yes.
Take a golem.
Yes.
Take Sten. I will bring Morgan back for operations because I need a mage, but for now I think Sten would be more satisfying. Sten? Sten needs some work. Okay. You know what? Let me check Sten out. Alright. Let's go. Bombs are always good. It's always good to cleanse the area. And bravery is also nice. Yeah. Okay. Tossing grenades is always good. So now Keeper Zathrian. Even with all our magic and skill, we only delay the inevitable. It is said the elves lived in Ferelden long before any others set foot there, and though most of their knowledge has been lost, it falls to the keeper of each clan to preserve what they have. Zathrian is an old, severe elf, with little love for outsiders, but his clan is facing a more trying enemy than most. Witherfang. Witherfang is, according to the keeper Zathrian, a wolf. He is no ordinary wolf, however. He is a wolf possessed by a powerful spirit, and the source of the werewolf curse that plagues the Brazilian forest. While Witherfang is hundreds of years old and very powerful in his own right, the only way to end this curse is to cut out his heart and bring it to Zathrian. Alright, now let's have a conversation. Yeah, that's not much. I want to check something for Sten. Okay. Sten? I think that works better than the Thane helmet. Alright. So... Okay, good. Armor of Diligence is better. Maybe chainmail boots. That's better. Well, I know what I'm going to sell. Let me see something else here for Sten. Alright. Hopefully as a Kunari he doesn't antagonize. Hello, Lanaya.
I'm Daranatishan Grey Warden. My name is Lanaya. I am Zathrian's first, what you might call an apprentice, perhaps. I've been studying under the Keeper all my life. I am a bit curious of the outside world. Do you mind if I ask you a question or two?
Hello, Lanaya. Not at all. If you like, I'm not going to be a smartass. If you like, go ahead.
I hear the human cities are very large. Thousands upon thousands of souls all packed together in their houses. Is that true?
Yes, they are lots of people. And I have to say that I don't appreciate how they've built it. I don't think it's very good for the people, given how ramshackle human building is. Now, if it had the quality of dwarven build, that would be different. And perhaps there's some magic halls like the Tivinters have that is much more decent as living arrangements. But I really think that they need to put more money into having dwarves come in and build cities right, because they're hopeless. It's just a mess. The buildings are hideous and ramshackle. Some of them look quite sturdy on the inside, but... Yes, some are larger than the eye can see. She has to travel with her party. She's Dalish, she's traveling the countryside, so she doesn't have time to see it herself, although she probably should. The exchange of culture can be a good thing, under the right situation. But of course, given how elves are generally treated by humans in their society, I could certainly see why you would not want to.
How very loud that must be with everyone talking all at once.
Sometimes.
I try to imagine those of our people living in such a place, surrounded by walls of stone and indifference. It is a difficult thought.
Indifference, I don't believe that stone is necessarily indifferent. Stone can be very cozy if shaped with the sort of love and care and attention that we can do. So it's not necessarily indifferent. And I think even for elves who are accustomed to traveling across the countryside, or just common woodsmen, that there can be appreciation of the value. I mean, it might be nice to spend some time in a stone place every once in a while. They're used to it just as the humans are. I think it's a fair analogy.
Being accustomed to pain and suffering does not make it any less tragic. It is said that one day we will have a land of our own. We Dalish gather the ancient wisdom in preparation for this. When that day comes, all elves, even those who have forgotten, will reclaim their former glory. I have one more question, though I'm not sure you can answer it. Do the humans ever regret what they did to us?
Let's talk about your little comment about pain and suffering. I was castless. Don't preach to me about what pain and suffering is. You get to gallivant across the countryside. Yes, I know you've been discriminated against. Yes, I know the humans are crappy towards you. Yes, I know it's wrong. Yes, I know you've had a lot of bad things here. But here's the deal. My life has been far, far worse than the typical Dalish. Now, maybe you've had horrible experiences. Maybe you've had ones worse than me as an individual. But in general, the castless, of whom I come from, have a life that is worse than the Dalish in general. Because the Dalish life, in my estimation, is far better than the city elf life. And my life was far worse than the city elf life, okay? You have a level of freedom in terms of travel. You have a level of freedom in terms of developing, coming together with your own culture, of being acknowledged, of being able to create your own stories, of developing some forms of oral traditions, and of traveling in the countryside and making your way in the world and creating a life and a genre de vie, which means way of life for yourself. We are denied that. Do not speak to me of growing comfortable with pain and suffering. I am well acquainted. You might be surprised at how very much you do not go accustomed to pain and suffering, even if you develop armor to protect against it. And maybe you've had a bad life, and if so, I pity you for that. But in general, and have empathy. But in general, the life of me, of Cassus, perhaps not me, but Cassus, has been far more painful than that of a city elf, which by the way is worse than yours. So do not preach to me, and do not expect me to bow down. But I'm going to be calm, and I'm going to be quiet, and I'm going to hold in. I think some of them do. Not all humans are the same. And yes, you were treated with injustice. So have we. And our injustice as Cassus is worse. Don't ever, ever sit there and tell me about how I don't understand pain and suffering. Or that Cassus do not understand pain and suffering. We may live in the stone and be of the stone. And maybe we don't look delicate, but we have hearts and feelings too. How dare you? But I'm not going to say that to you. Because I want to win you over, and I don't think you understood or have been able to look outside of yourself and see it from other people's views, as I at least try to do from other perspectives such as your own. So I think some of them do. Not all humans are the same.
And yet, even if some regret, they do nothing. A poet once wrote of them before the fall of the Dales. Like dragons they fly, glory upon wings. Like dragons, they savage, fearsome, pretty things. But you don't need me to quote poetry.
I don't mind. I like poetry.
Forgive me.
Oh, that's fine.
You have some questions of your own.
I will say, though, it would be nice if the other dwarves would have that sort of empathy and appreciation to help us as well. And I hope that they someday learn, and I'm willing to help you with that in terms of dealing with the humans and their mistreatment of you. Perhaps if we find a way to work together under Darkspawn, and by some miracle we survive that and Terran Logain, because I don't even know if I can get you to fight the Terran. If it comes to that, I hope it doesn't. Then I can be of assistance to you and yours in building a better world for yourselves, where you deserve more than what you've been given. Just as maybe you can help me build a better world for the castless. But don't sit there and lecture me on. Why don't you tell me about yourself? And again, you may have had a horrible life. I don't know. Perhaps even worse than mine. But in general, castless versus elves, castless have it worse. In general. Unique cases notwithstanding. Tell me more about yourself.
I'm hardly anyone special, I assure you. If I seem different from the rest of my clan, it's only because I was born amongst humans. I came to the Dalish at a very young age, but I've always retained my curiosity about the world I came from.
That's interesting, and I can relate to that. Because I, too, have crossed between two different worlds. The world of the Castless, the world of Orgrimmar, and now I live in this marvelous surface world. Marvelous for me, not necessarily for elves, who've suffered a great deal. And so you've lived in both of those worlds and seen both. Both the world of the human, and now the world of the Dalish elf. Maybe perhaps you'll get to spend some time in this world of the city elves, although their life is worse, and that may hurt. But maybe something can be done to improve their lot in life. How did you come to the Dalish if you were so young?
My parents were servants to a human merchant whose caravans plied the southern routes. One day, bandits killed him, and my parents both. I was the only survivor, just a young girl, and the bandits took me. I was their servant for several years.
I'm sorry. It must have been horrible. And it was horrible. And I understand why she's matter-of-fact about it. Rika's like this, too, in many respects. It's just like, it's the life. I'm a noble hunter. It was like when I understood I couldn't be a shaper. Although that was nowhere near as bad as what you went through with your parents dying. Although I did have to expect that my mother was a worthless, evil, drunken shrew. And that my father was nowhere to be found, a worthless deadbeat. Not my real father. My real father is Papa Duncan, who saved me. Not whatever person put his seed inside Kala, my excuse for a mother, who's not really even my mother either. But it wasn't as bad as what happened to you, because you had parents who you loved and miss. And losing them is far worse, in my opinion, contrary to what some people think, than having parents you don't give a damn about and curse. Because Kala could die tomorrow and I wouldn't care. But you had parents you generally appeared to love and care for, and that must be painful. It's far worse. I think that's worse than what my situation was. Some may disagree, but whatever. And I'm sorry for that, the fact that you were forced into sexual slavery. Like I said, individual people can have lives worse than other individuals. I think your life is worse than many casteless, but I would say that in general, the casteless have worse lives than City Elves and the Dalish, who had Dalish being generally having better lives. But I'm sorry about yours. Your life was certainly worse than mine. And I would argue possibly, maybe worse than Rika's. I mean, it is interesting because, in a way, Rika is forced to do sex work against what she would want to do by the institutions of Orzammar. It's not overly brutal physically, but it's there. The brutality is there. It's just hidden more because you don't want to, quote, quote, brutalize the merchandise, as Barat would say. I'm so glad he's dead. It's both bad. And I'm not going to judge whose was worse, because I didn't participate. But it's both bad, and neither one should have happened. So I'm sorry that happened to you. I apologize that happened to you. I wish it hadn't. If I'd been there, I would like to think I would have done something, but it would depend on the situation. Just as it depended on with Rika, when I had to live with it for years. I'm sorry. It must have been horrible.
It was. The long years of reflection have allowed me to come to terms with it, to put them in perspective. I can only imagine what would have happened had the clan not saved me from them. I owe them my life for that, and more.
Well, good. I'm glad they did that. You said that the Dalish rescued you from the bandits?
The bandits killed a scout when the clan passed near their camp. When the clan discovered him, Zathrian came looking for his killers. He followed their tracks for almost a month, and when he finally caught up to us, he fell on the bandits like a terror.
Good.
No one could stop him. I sat there, and I watched him attack them in a blur, and I reveled in every blow.
Good.
And he saw me. The fury in his eyes turned to pity. He took me back to the clan, and I've been here ever since.
Well, that's good. That makes me happy. Good. Her family's, their mother and father are dead. She was a little kid. She doesn't know how to find them, but I might as well say it.
It's possible I might have had some, maybe many. Zathrian offered to take me back, but I had no idea where I was from, and I wanted to stay with the man who rescued me.
Makes sense.
The clan is my family. Any others out there? It's best they believe that little girl died with her parents. For now, the clan is all I need. My old world could not have offered me all this, and the knowledge of a keeper as well. Perhaps one day, when I am keeper, I might inquire out of curiosity. I'm not sure what lies down that road except pain, however.
Sometimes pain is good. Like when you're training and learning and discipline. Sometimes pain is good. Now I like you, and I relate to you. I would say I don't want to go back to Orzammar. Except to see Rika. Maybe in the future I will want to go back to Orzammar. I never want to see Kala, my excuse for a mother. I don't ever want to see my father. But there's a part of me that would, just to rub it in their faces and go, see, Dad, look at how much better I am than you. Sit and spin. Same thing with my mother. See, Mom, I'm not a worthless piece of crap drunk like you. Look at me. I'm better than you. For you, of course, it wouldn't be like that. But it might be nice, since they're probably good people like your parents, who you could have stayed with and loved and had affection for. It might have been nice to go there and see, look at me. I am the first to the keeper of a Dalish clan. I am Dalish myself. Who knows, maybe they would have the young go with you. And they could be part of the Dalish, and you could introduce them, and you guys could grow stronger. Maybe even they would go. Maybe if they're old, they want to spend their last years not living in an alienage. they might come and travel with you down the road somewhere before they pass into whatever it is for you. Maybe down the road. So maybe you do want to keep your options open to go and see where your family came from. For different reasons than me. I don't really go to Orzammar, but I don't think it's good that they think you're dead. I think it might make them very happy to know that one of them has done so well for herself. You give them a hope. Might inspire them to join you. Make the clan stronger and bigger. How did you become a keeper?
I am not a keeper. I am Zathrian's first. Though because I was not born into the clan, becoming his first was very difficult. We Dalish have old traditions. The clans come from the ranks of the nobility that once ruled the Dales, you see. The keepers of those old clans have the strongest and purest blood that reaches back to the days of Arlathan. I had to compete against the other candidates for first, to be better than them in everything, simply because I was not of the old blood.
I hate crap like that. I hate it. This whole obsession with blood and breeding, and who squirts their seed and who, has damned me and the castless for things we had no idea and nothing to do with. And when we turn to crime because there's nothing else, it's just assumed to be natural when it's not. It's because they forced us into it. So I guess it's nice to know that these ridiculous obsessions with heredity, with our hereditary backgrounds, have continued. As gloriously despicable acts of eugenics. Do they resent your success?
No. Zathrian told me that time would take away their prejudices, and it did. They became used to me.
Good.
The clan has placed great trust in me. One day, I will lead them and be the one who secures our future.
That's good. That's better than what the dwarves have done. Because the dwarves refused to learn that about the castless. Oh yeah, sure, you can become Paragon. Oh yeah, sure, if you die fighting something. But in general, the system is totally geared to ignore us and bred into just not, unless we're like, oh, join the Legion of the Dead, die fighting for us. So it's nice to know that I think these people were much more open-minded than my own. And that's good, and that speaks well of the Dalish. Perhaps that's one of the reasons why you've been able to survive so long and adapt in difficult circumstances. What does a keeper do exactly?
A keeper is, first and foremost, the leader of the clan. He decides where we go and when we shall move. He's also responsible for knowing the clan's ancient lore and passing it on to the others in the clan. Without a keeper, the clan's knowledge is lost forever, so the clan protects him like no other.
Why don't you just write this stuff down and learn how to read? Seriously, oral traditions have problems. Even if you have redundancy in the oral tradition. The great problem with the oral tradition is that it changes with each telling, or to suit the needs of that. You don't have it on the printed page. I'm not sure that any person should be given that much power. There should be checks and balances on them. What can you tell me about Zathrian?
Nothing that you could not ask Zathrian himself. He is the keeper of this clan and has been for a very long time. He is also a very good man who has lost much. The Dalish are everything to him, and he would do anything to protect them.
Lost much? What has he lost?
He lost his family a very long time ago. I don't know the story, but I understand the circumstances were horrific.
Why are the Dalish so hostile? I have good ideas, but yeah.
They have reason. Since the days of Arlathan, my people have been either subjugated or homeless.
Fair enough. I figured it'd be something like that. What is this Arlathan you mentioned? I have an idea, but we might as well get there an elven perspective.
It was our ancestral home, long ago when the humans first came to these lands. We were free then, and immortal. We did not know how to deal with the humans, and in the end, they turned their power against us and destroyed Arlathan. Our ancestors were enslaved, and our culture lost forever.
Didn't Arlathan fight back?
The Tevinter Imperium was a force to be reckoned with. It was ruled by mages with powerful blood magic. Though Arlathan fought, They lost.
Does Arlathan still exist?
Not to my knowledge. According to the old tales, the human mages sank Arlathan into the ground, crushing it beneath the rock.
Elves were immortal then?
They died, but not of an aged body as other races do. Not until the humans came. According to the legends, association with humans caused us to quicken. Our blood sped, and we began to age. So we avoided them naturally. And then we were enslaved by them for 1,000 years. And in so doing, we all were quickened permanently and our immortality destroyed. Or so the old tales say.
But you could get your lifespan back.
In time and with seclusion. We Dalish have lengthy lifespans, and they will get longer. Zathrian himself has lived many centuries, though that is unusual even for us.
But the elves were eventually freed, right?
Yes. After a millennium of slavery, our people were freed by Andraste, the human's prophet who spawned the Chantry.
I can see why they don't worship her, but they should honor her. And also Shartan, that awesome elf that worked with her and has his own books in the Chantry. But you don't worship the Maker?
We worship the creators, as we always have. We give thanks to Andraste for her part in our freedom, but we do not worship her or her god.
That's fine. Fair enough. I could see why you resent humans. Oh yeah, that's from the beginning. Just like I resent caste dwarves that have castes.
Shemlin, we call them. Quick children. I suppose it takes a certain arrogance to look upon another people as children, no?
Yeah, but that
Perhaps
doesn't mean
we
they
should be more heedful of our own role in Arlathan's loss. Even so, it was a bitter lesson to learn. One we are not grateful for.
Yeah, you shouldn't enslave people and brutalize people, and a lot of injustice was done. And my understanding is that there's even like a canticle of Shartan, which has been like covered over. That's pretty shameful. So no, I understand. My only complaint was when you were like, "We're the only people who suffered. You can't understand how badly." It's like, no, trust me. Your homeland was called the Dales, I thought. I know that's the second one, but you know what? Let's keep talking.
That was our second homeland. Our first was the great city of Arlathan. The Dales came when they were freed from enslavement. Elves everywhere journeyed hundreds and thousands of miles to the
Well, that'd
Dales,
be awesome.
eager to start their lives anew. They called it the Long Walk. They reached the Dales and made it their own. And one day it was taken from us too.
Unfortunately.
And you wonder why we are hostile.
I know. Is there no way to get on your clan's good side?
It requires an individual to prove he is not the outsider we have come to expect. Your own task to help our clan is certainly a step in the right direction.
Okay. I know the answer to this. I have to understand what those people are like, but I'm going to say it anyway.
That's true. And you're not even a human, so it's doubly unfair.
But I understand.
But fairness does not play into such feelings.
And you guys have
no
never
outsider
treated
has
fairly.
ever been good for us.
Fair enough. And I've not been treated fairly. Castles have not been treated fairly. City elves are not treated fairly. Dalish are not treated fairly. I get it. You aren't hostile.
I was not born here, so I see things
Right.
differently from the others. Still, I do not blame them for what they feel. Perhaps this may change one day. But I believe the humans would have to take the first steps, if they are capable.
No, maybe I can help encourage them to do the right thing.
That was our second homeland. Our first was the great city of Arlathan. The Dales came when they were freed from enslavement. Elves everywhere journeyed hundreds
I know
and
I've heard this
thousands
before,
of
but
miles
it's still
to the Dales,
fascinating to picture
eager
in
to
my
start
mind.
their lives anew. They called it the Long Walk. They reached the Dales and made it their own. And one day it was taken from us too, and you wonder why we are hostile.
In a way, I felt like I've been on a long walk as well. I want to ask something else.
Certainly.
I should go.
As you wish. Darth Shiro.
Pleasant to meet you as well.
Too frilly.